A child arranges money on the table. Suddenly, a nurse comes from behind, and the child quickly hides. The nurse looks at the money, gets happy, and says, "This is a lot of money. If they left it here, I don't think they care if I take a little." She puts the money in her bag. Meanwhile, the child marks a cross X over her picture. Then the nurse leaves. The child comes out again, arranges more money on the table, and hides. Another nurse enters, sees the money, and is shocked. So much money. This is a lot. She picks it up and says, "When I get the job, I'll be able to steal whatever I want." The child marks a cross X on her picture too. Then a third nurse arrives. She sees the money and says, "This is a lot of money." But instead of stealing, she takes out a cloth from her bag and says, "Better I cover it. I don't want anyone else to see it or steal it." She covers the money. The child gets happy and marks a good sign check mark on her picture. The nurse leaves. The child runs to his sick grandmother, kisses her forehead, and says, "Grandma, the candidates have arrived who want to be your nurses." Grandma replies, "That's very good. This way you'll get some help." Then the child goes to the nurses and says, "I'm Lewis, and I'm in charge of the test. Let's start." He takes a diaper and says, "You have to change this." The first nurse says, "What? No, I won't do this. I didn't study nursing to clean dirt. I'm leaving." She tries to go, but Louis follows her and says, "Wait, not so fast. Give me back the money you stole from the table." The nurse gives him the money and leaves. Louis returns inside and says to the second nurse, "Here, take this diaper and change it." She takes it inside, pours syrup on it, throws it in the dustbin, and comes back. She says, "I changed it." Louis replies, "All right." The next day, Louis brings his grandmother in a wheelchair and says, "Today is the second day of the test. You both will have to feed my grandma. Here are the bowls of porridge." He tells the second nurse, "You feed her first." Louis and the third nurse leave the room. The nurse says, "Come on, open your mouth." Grandma replies, "I don't like this." The nurse smears porridge on her mouth and says, "Eat it. Eat it whether you like it or not." Then, instead of feeding Grandma, she eats all the porridge herself. Later, she goes to Louis and says, "Grandma ate it all." Louis says, "All right, now Madam Sophia, it's your turn." Sophia goes to Grandma and says, "How are you, Grandma?" Grandma replies, "Are you here to trouble me too?" Sophia says, "No, Grandma. I'm here to feed you. Don't worry. I brought the same recipe my own grandmother used to make for me." She goes to the kitchen, prepares another porridge, and comes back. She feeds Grandma gently. Grandma eats it and says, "Wow, this is so good. I'm sure your grandmother is smiling with pride from heaven." Sophia says, "Thank you so much." Meanwhile, Louis and the second nurse return. Louis asks, "Madam Sophia, did you feed Grandma all of it?" Sophia replies, "Yes." Then Louis says, "Inside each of these diapers is my final decision." The two nurses pick up their diapers. The second nurse looks at hers and becomes worried. Sophia looks at hers and becomes happy. Louis says, "Congratulations, Sophia. You are the winner." The second nurse protests, "No, I passed all the tests." Louis replies, "At least Sophia didn't cheat. I know you neither changed my grandma's diaper nor fed her." "That's the truth," Grandma says. "Get out of my house." Then the nurse leaves. Louis turns to Sophia and says, "You are the one we were looking for." Sophia replies, "Thank you. I will do my best and never disappoint you." When you do good, people always respond with goodness. If you liked my video, please like and subscribe.